All right, we're on. Sorry, everyone. Technical difficulties with both of our mics and our headphones, so appreciate you waiting. And then I'm glad that you're so excited. We're pumped to talk about Marvel Zombies. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad Sheena's here.
Yeah, I know.
I can't do a stream without Sheena in the chat.
I was DMing her like earlier this week and last week, and we were just talking about how great you are. So, all right.
I love Sheena. She's honestly the coolest.
Everyone in the comic community I've been like chatting with has been so obscenely nice. I'm just kind of like, what have I been like? I needed to enter this community way sooner.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are here, say hi in the chat. We're going to dive into our first impressions of the Marvel Zombies Volume 1, and then we'll dig into Volume 2. And then we'll kind of talk a little bit about both of those with the Marvel What If series that was so good.
Yes.
So
exciting.
What did you, okay, so what do you think is this your first time reading Marvel Zombies? Had you read it before?
No, I haven't read Marvel Zombies before, so it's the first time that I have read it. I did read a little bit of the Marvel Zombies Resurrection, the 2019 series. But I think I only read the first issue. I didn't have it on my pull list. I just brought it for that Ryan Gonzalez cover.
Yes.
So yeah, that's sort of the only thing that I really knew going in, besides obviously the What If episode. So yeah.
What are sorry, go.
Had you read any other Marvel Zombies, or had you read any Robert Kirkman stuff before? Because that was the other thing that I thought would be interesting, would be to compare it to his other writing, if you've read any of it.
Yeah, I actually read a bit of The Walking Dead. I have one of the deluxe volumes of the first one.
Yeah.
I will say in comparison, I do think the writing in The Walking Dead is just better. But I did really like, but I thought this was fun. I think more than anything, I thought this was really fun. But in terms of like the writing and the story arcs, The Walking Dead is just so much better.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you read any stuff?
I feel like I've read like maybe 6 volumes of The Walking Dead, I think. So not like heaps. So yeah, I kind of felt like reading those Marvel Zombies and then Marvel Zombies 2. It was kind of like this is probably weird, but it's kind of like eating chicken nuggets. You're like, yeah, this is like a fun time, but then once you're done, you're like, did I even eat anything? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. After the first one, I was like, okay, like I just didn't feel like there was like a lot to it. I felt like there was more in Volume 2. Though I will say how Volume 1 opened up with Magneto. I was so ready. I was so freaking excited just because I love his character. I was like, oh my gosh, Magneto made it. He's gonna like really get shit together, and then then he died. The first couple of pages, I was so upset.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny that you said that, because I when I opened it as well, I was like, oh, Haley's gonna be so excited, like our boy Magneto is here, he's gonna follow him, it's gonna be a no. Immediately no.
They're like, you're knocking it away from us, and completely tore his body apart, which I was just so I was like, we couldn't have just given him like at least half of the series like in the first. I was really excited for that, but it's all right.
I was so thrown for a loop the way that all the characters that had dialogue were the zombies. I was like, what?
I wasn't anticipating that either.
Yeah, I was shocked. And because in that first issue of Marvel Zombies Resurrection that I had read, which was obviously, like I said, the only Marvel Zombies that I had read prior, the whole comic is you follow like the kind of like survivors as they're like hiding from the zombies, which is more of like a classic zombie story, right? So I was like, oh yeah, it'll be, you know, like that kind of thing. No. I mean, we did get like a tiny smidgen of that like right at the end of Marvel Zombies, but yeah, like it just really threw me for a loop.
Well, and what I found curious, Sheena, thank you so much. She said we look amazeballs. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, last
sweet.
night I just rolled out of bed and washed my hair. Look, I think I really nailed it today. Unlike Haley, who's like got full face and looking stunning. So
it is 2 p.m. over here, so to give you credit, you're awake. I was not awake at 7 a.m. my time today, so I appreciate you showing up this early. But what threw me for a loop too was like that they were talking, but that there was like literally no one else except for the Avengers for the most part. And then you see other people kind of come in through the volumes where at one point, I think it's in volume, it's volume 1 where Galactus comes. And then you see like the Goblin.
No,
you see
that's volume. That's
volume 2.
That's volume 2. That's Marvel's Zombies 2. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, because it's kind of like eating chicken nuggets. You're like, I don't know how many I've eaten. Like, you don't know where I'm up to because they're so, just like junk food. Like, you know, like you're reading, like, yeah.
I felt like with the first one,
so it's like,
what even happened really by the end of the first one? Like obviously there's like the survivors, and what was I thought really interesting was that T'Challa carries Wasp. And what I also was trying to place everyone because they were like all of their older versions, like the older versions of themselves. So I was like, is this Scott? And you realize it's Hank and then Janet. And then also Hank Pym is like the literal worst, most annoying,
it's awful
Marvel zombie. Awful. I really was just like, can someone kill him like now?
Just get rid of him. I know. Like, even when he's honestly, Hank Pym is always the worst. Like, even if you read The Ultimates by Mark Millar, he's even worse. Like, the worst, like more than the worst in that. So it just, and even when he gets like sliced and diced and his like brains hanging out as a zombie, and he's still the worst. Can't you just go away now?
Can you just
that was my thoughts on Hank Pym.
And
can you just not like also, why were they calling Captain America Colonel America? That threw me for a loop as well. I was like, I guess I haven't read enough of the like early 2000s comics to know why he's called that. Because
that threw me. I also because I was like, why is he not Captain America? But I thought he was Cap like since the beginning. But I mean, someone who maybe knows more than us can educate us in the chat. But I was like surprised by that. And then I was just trying to place everyone who was on Asteroid M, like who came to kind of like save well, to see if there was any survivors or to save Magneto. And then they end up taking T'Challa, who then is like carrying Wasp's head, which I love that he's like still such a good person. And I was kind of like surprised by that. I was just kind of like, are you sure you really want to bring her with? Which ends up working out for them in the long run. But I felt like so much of like the first volume, just like you said, felt like junk food. I'm like, was there even really much of a story? Because it ends with them like escaping, and then that's kind of like they're like, we need to find more food, and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly. It was just so odd, like, especially when they throw in, like, the Silver Surfer, and then eating the Silver Surfer gives them some of the Silver Surfer's cosmic powers, and, like, just, like, all those little things that happened, but it was kind of like, we still felt like nothing really happened, like, the plot wasn't that strong. There was just, like, lots of little moments. And honestly, like the strongest part of the story, and probably because we watched the What If episode, but the strongest part of the story I felt like was the T'Challa part. Because, you know, like he was the only survivor that you really saw. And because we saw him in that same situation, like they obviously pulled that straight from the comic for the What If episode. So yeah, that was like the really like strong, like standout kind of moment I felt like for it. But and then in Marvel Zombie 2, I love how Janet has all those different robot bodies. Like, we're going there. Okay, well, like boobs and all.
I know. Well, and what I found to be so disturbing and random as hell was that Janet in the second Marvel Zombies is like ripped apart again at one point and is being put back together by Reynolds, and then he's like kisses her and is like in love with her, and then they don't address it at all. It's like this like one scene.
Yeah.
She like kisses him back, and then everyone just stares in shock, and then that's it. That's it for. And then Reynolds gets killed, which by Hank, this is the worst fucking person. Sorry, excuse my language. But yeah, it was like you were saying, all of these like tiny moments where you're like, okay, well that didn't, and they get powers from Galactus and Silver Surfer. But what I'm curious about is like all of these other, supposedly they've eaten everyone. So what about all of the other like superheroes? Like how are their powers like not?
Yeah, and how do they even get the powers if they actually don't digest anything? Like, make it make sense. Because like there was that one moment where like Bruce is like pulling out what he's eaten and putting it back in his mouth to eat it again to like stave off the hunger, because he's obviously like got that hole in his guts. But if they don't digest it, how?
It makes.
It doesn't.
And I feel like for some characters, you had like remnants of like who they used to be as superheroes, but you weren't getting that across the board. At least I felt like with every single character. So like in Marvel Zombies 1, you see a little bit of like Peter, like Spider-Man, like kind of wrestling with that, and it comes more clearly through in the Marvel Zombies 2, and he has that whole scene where he's making jokes and he starts going in about, I make jokes to now like when I feel insecure, when I'm just a little bit worried, which I felt like that was so much like telling instead of showing, and I got it because like, you know, you're bringing in more of like his conscience, but at the same time it was just again very like dropped in randomly, where you're seeing that he has tension with Hank, and then some of the other Thanos is with them at one point. Where did he come from? Like I just was like, where did people like question marks all over the place.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just Kirkman's writing. He'll just be like a wee like pepper grinder and just sprinkle in some shit for fun. Like, I don't know, but yeah. Because when I saw Thanos and Phoenix, I was like, so like, are there standalone issues? Because there's obviously like when you look up on Marvel Unlimited, there's all those other random Marvel Zombies issues. So I guess like, are any of those standalone issues and we've just missed it, like gonna explain where we found Thanos and Phoenix, or we're just supposed to go, that's Marvel Zombies, who cares? Like, we don't need a real plot.
They did. I think Robert Kirkman at the end of Marvel Zombies 2 even wrote a little bit of a note of like, I was trying to figure out what the story was for this. Oh, hey, Banshee Queen. You didn't miss much. We're just talking about all of the plot holes that Marvel Zombies 1 and 2 have, and how it is basically just junk food. I just... He said at the end of it, like, he was like, I was just trying to figure out how to make this a story. And I'm like, okay, well, did you make it a story?
Yeah.
Now they're dropping
like
a different dimension at the end of Marvel Zombies 2. So you're like, okay, maybe it's the end. Maybe they come back. Obviously, there's been more volumes. Kind of like, this is just like, there's no real plot and like character development, which again is, I guess, fine if there's like those no expectations. But I feel like what I love so much about the What If episode with the Marvel Zombies is that it was so, like, it really played to each character, and you felt like it stayed true to the character's personality and like history. And then all of a sudden you're reading this and you're like, who the hell is this person? Like,
where's the plot? Where's the stakes? Like, where's that emotional investment? Like, I don't know. That's the thing that was so good about the Marvel Zombies. I was getting a chair for my dog, by the way. About the Marvel Zombies episode is because it stuck to the like classic zombie story formula where you know, follow like a ragtag team of survivors. You get invested in it, and like, you're not really invested in zombies trying to find food, are you? Like, you're kind of like, right, like, we already know that's what they're doing. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, I wonder if there'll be more survivors in the other dimension though with the Fantastic Four, because that will be interesting, I guess. Maybe. Although Reed Richards as a zombie would also be the worst, like maybe worse than Hank Pym.
That is true. And I'm wondering in this, if it's another dimension, then there would be like another Captain America, another Iron Man, right? Like, because it would be another multiverse in that sense. So I'm like, are they going to be confronted with like the zombie version of themselves and like the still human version? I'm curious about what they'll do with that. But I think Kirkman only wrote Volume 1 and Volume 2, right? I don't think he wrote the third one. I have to check that, but I don't think he was reading these other ones. And I was so excited for him to write them, like when I found out that he was the person who wrote them, and it was just so disappointing in the writing because, like you said, you're not invested in zombies just eating more people, and the whole entire time they're just screaming like hunger, pain, and then doing like little jokes on the side, and then there's like pages of like fighting to eat, and kind of like, all right, like I got it, they're hungry, they're zombies. And there's like nothing really explained about the fact that like your head could get like chopped off, but you still have like, if you have half of your brain, you're still fully there. You know, like you maybe scoop out the rest of your brain. You're not like, that doesn't like make sense to me. Like you're saying, the stakes are so low for this.
Yeah, exactly. I almost wonder if, because what year did the first, I should have looked this up before we did the stream, but I wondered if the first like volume or whatever of The Walking Dead had come out and Marvel was like, do you want to do a zombie story for us? And maybe he just wrote it in his like downtime or whatever, because like as a way to let off steam, or as a like way to dump his like almost like anti Walking Dead ideas. I don't know. That's what I was kind of like, almost the vibes I was getting. It was like reading someone's like, you know how often you'll get authors who will have like a main story, but then they'll write like a fun story on the side, and the publisher will end up publishing it, but it's such a different vibe to the actual, you know, like story that they've written normally. I almost kind of got that vibe from it as well. It's fine.
Yeah, where it's like, what if we actually make zombies talking? What if they still had brains? And Marvel Zombies, the first issue came out in December 2005. So I actually don't know when Walking Dead launched, but
I don't know. I think it was before then. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, if they're having Robert Kirkman write a zombie Marvel series, like The Walking Dead had to, because everyone then wanted to do zombies.
Yeah, and because the first season of the television show came out in like 2010 or 9, I feel like. So it had to have been pre-2005, like, especially because it went up to like 400 issues or something, like a lot of issues.
Isn't it still going, or did I read that up?
No, it finished, and weirdly he just finished it on a whim. Like he was just like, psych, this is the last issue, that's it, like no more. But Image is reprinting all of the Walking Dead issues in color, so they're still keeping the Walking Dead money train going, but it's not new content, it's just colored, because they obviously black and white to start with.
Seeing it, and I'm like, it's a never ending series.
Yeah. It's never gonna finish. Yeah, that's how I feel about the TV show. I feel like that is never ending. Like, come on.
100%. I will say I'm still watching the TV show, but I think I might have even skipped a season because I was like, it's all the same. But if anyone's been reading along Marvel Zombies 1 and 2, please drop in the chat your opinions of it, because I feel like we're just kind of sitting here being like, here are all the plot holes, and it was very disappointing in a lot of ways. Now I really feel like I was excited, but let's see what happens next.
This is our co-host, by the way. I feel like I was particularly like disappointed as well because I read obviously Deceased by Tom Taylor and loved it because you get emotionally invested in that, like that kind of Elseworld story. So I was hoping it was like a Marvel version of that where I'd be like invested in this like Marvel Elseworld story. But no. And I think as well, because did you read the first issue of Dark Ages yet? Marvel Dark Ages?
No, I haven't. One of the comments.
Read that, because that will probably fill in the void that you're now feeling for not having like a post-apocalyptic Marvel story, because it's good. Like, I think issue 2 is just come out, so I'll probably get it next week, maybe, depending on when the deliveries are in New Zealand. But if you that's what you're gonna want to read to fill in your like disappointment in this is Elseworld story. Like, and it's funny because even though it's bad, like not good, I won't say it's bad, but it's not good. I still want to read the next one because I'm like, what's gonna happen in the other dimension? And it's like just like eating junk food. You're like, I shouldn't eat the rest of the packet of chips, but I'm going to. But I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Like, no, I'm going to get pimples, but I'm going to read it.
I need to know now. I'm like, especially hoping that we see a zombie read, so I just have another person to hate throughout throughout the series. And with it, I'm just kind of like, there was just like these parts where I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. You brought in these new characters and you could do something with it. Like, they brought in all of the villains and then just had this whole like fight where like no one really talked. There was like some kind of like yelling at each other, where like with Venom and like Spider-Man, and I was like, we really just could have done more, and it didn't capture the spirit of the characters, in my opinion. Like, I was just really disappointed in that. I will say what I enjoyed the most was like seeing the parallels between the What If series episode and what they actually brought into it. And what I found, I will say what was so depressing was Hawkeye in this series. I was just like, I'm really sad. He was just completely like mentally messed up because he had just been sitting like a headless person for decades. And then there's like these little scenes where they're like, if I leave him alone, he starts crying. And I'm like, that's so freaking sad.
That was so sad, and interesting that we read that, and it was so sad, like right on the cusp of the Hawkeye TV show coming out, because like in the MCU, like in the movies, you don't get a lot of Hawkeye, so you don't get super attached to him, except obviously that like opening sequence in Endgame. So it's kind of like, and obviously in the Hawkeye TV show, they're going to go into Hawkeye being deaf, which in the comics he is like hearing impaired, like on and off in different versions, depending on who's writing and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, wow, we're getting like emotionally invested in this Hawkeye, and now we're going to be invested in that Hawkeye. Like, this is fortuitous. So
you're like, I'm ready for some Hawkeye like emotional attachment to happen. Well, and in the What If episode, it's Scott Lang who gets like the floating head, and who's like put in is basically the Hawkeye from how they pulled that out, which I thought was really interesting, because they make obviously in the show Scott is just really funny, and you don't get that kind of like emotional, like, damn, that's like really sad. But I think there's a scene in the What If episode where they like go to grab like something, and he like Scott freaks out, I think, at one point, which I thought was also parallel to I think Reynolds was saying like Hawkeye thought they were like pulling off his face, like his
Yes,
skin
the mask,
when they were removing the helmet, because they like he just couldn't tell, and I was like, that's so sad.
So sad. Yeah, and then when he goes to like, what was he doing? He goes to defend them when they're like in the bubble or whatever, and then he realizes that he's mucked up. So, but because he obviously is like not all there, he's like, friends now. I was like, oh,
yeah, he's like, I'm ready to fight you, and then he's like, but friends. I feel like that was as close as I got to being emotionally attached to literally any character. Because even with T'Challa, I was kind of like, I don't know, it was like I felt really bad when Hank was eating him, but then kind of afterwards, it was just very quick of like, take care of Wasp, I'm going to do these logistic stuff. Then he comes back and is like the overlord of the survivors, and you're kind of just like, okay, like, again, not invested, don't really care.
The other character that I kind of like almost but not quite felt invested in was Forge, because he kind of was almost like the glue that held Marvel Zombies 2 together, because it wouldn't have made sense without Forge, obviously. So and like how he gets like the Iron Man suit, and he went and like took all the technology, which I kind of thought was funny because it wasn't quite my understanding of Forge and how Forge worked in like the Hickman comics, because I kind of thought like Forge wouldn't really need to go and take other people's stuff. He could just like make his own, like given the amount of time, I guess. But yeah, I kind of thought that was interesting. But like, yeah, he definitely kind of was the glue almost, rather than T'Challa being the glue for the first story. He was almost the glue maybe for the second story, because he was kind of like kept popping up and like helping the plot along.
Helping them escape, kind of. And then, you know, eventually they get caught. But yeah, I would say he's definitely was the glue of the second one. And even in the first, he pops up and like ready to just like help out, versus like there's the character Cortez, who's just like a shitty person.
Just punch him in the face.
I had to look
him. I thought that
I had to look up like who his dad was. I was like, I have no idea who you're talking about. And then I Googled it and was like, oh, okay, I don't care anymore.
No bueno. Don't care. Not important. So yeah. I was just like, oh, great. One of these. Just what we needed. So
Jason said, I still say the opening scene of Magneto's final stand is the best. 100%. It opened with Magneto. I was so here for it. And then like, you know, he dies, but I thought that was
well. I'm so interested to know if we get to see like more characters and stuff in all of the other, like, what does it go up to, Marvel Zombies 5 or whatever, and this like other
I don't know how,
because you know how, because there's like the whole, I'm just going a little bit off course here, but there's, you know, that whole line of like Funko Marvel Zombies with like every single character is a zombie, and I'm like, did they get these from the comics? Like, are we gonna see these characters? Like, I'm interested to know. I'm gonna eat some more chips.
Well, they do have a Marvel Zombie Magneto, and I'm like, well, he was eaten. He didn't even turn into a zombie, so to see him as a zombie, I do want to see that. But yeah, I mean, it has to continue in another dimension, but it's like what's curious is if they go to this other dimension, I guess Reed would maybe be there, and he was a zombie, so maybe he's killing everyone. But all of them have like learned the hunger doesn't control them. So then it's like, are they just walking into like a part 2 where everyone's like already dead? Or is it that they're just going to try to coexist amongst humans? Like what? I mean, I'm curious. And also, like, I just really hope there's more of I think that sets up more of a story than even like Marvel's Zombies Volume 1. Like, there was just, I felt like no story to that one.
It was like, we'll use Silver Surfer and Galactus and make it a story. It was kind of like, will you though?
You're like, you just gave me some fights. You know, I don't know how much that is.
I also want to know like what or not the logistics, but like the thought behind like sending them out to like, you know, eat the entire universe or whatever. Well, where was Carol? Where's Carol? Where's Carol?
We did not even get her.
Yeah.
Again, potholes. Where is she? Like, what about, I don't know, the Infinity Stones? Like, couldn't someone do something with them? Yeah. The Time Stone.
Where's the Watcher? Where's Gamora? Like, especially I don't know. Obviously,
the whole universe. Yeah. Like, you would think at that point, like the Watcher, and then they're going into different dimensions. So, like, that's where that feels like. I feel like there should have been some bigger guns coming out to fight these guys.
We've gone too deep. We've gone too deep into junk food. We're like, where's the nutritional value? Well, too bad. It's just chicken nuggets and chips. Like,
it really is. Yeah. I can agree. You described the series perfectly. Junk food.
Yeah, 100%.
He's watching like the creepy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, totally. Did you see that they released the like little coming soon picture for like the little Watcher Funko character and stuff like yesterday, I think, as well? So I'm like,
I did not see that. Are you going to
send it to you later? I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't have space, so.
I've been like clearing space to like make room for more comics. I like like I'm running out of space and I need to like reorganize, maybe get rid of some things that I don't need anymore, because otherwise I'm not allowed to have any more comic books or even these little Funko Pops. I have a few. It's you go down the rabbit hole once and then that's it.
Yeah, 100%. When we were, so I have in my wardrobe in my bedroom, I have my like white cardboard short boxes, and I've got 8 of them in my wardrobe, and I have them like tucked in so they're not like right in the line of vision. My husband like pulled back the door and was like looking at the boxes, and then he's like, how many comics are in one of those? And I was like,
I have no idea. Could not tell you.
And so he like pulls one out and starts counting them, and then he like gets out his calculator and starts. I was like, can we please stop do this? Please don't. I don't want to know. Because like I'm like, I just want to look at the pictures and be happy. I don't want to think about any of the other logistical part of this. So please don't.
I know. I'm trying to find places that I'm like, because I get the boxes that have like the little displays, like you can see it like over there. And so I'm like, you know, talking to my boyfriend, I'm like, aren't they? They look really good. They could just go in other parts of our home. Wouldn't like a few of them look really cool in our bedroom? He's like, you know, I don't know about that actually. He's like, you're maybe
like, well, I do.
Consolidate.
Yeah.
Hey, geek out with Roscoe and Panda Awesome. Hey guys.
Yay. Yeah, and I also have like obviously these baskets down here, which are like the series that I'm currently reading. So
I love your setup, by the way. Like
this is my dining room. Like I took all the dining room space basically. Like this is on the kitchen table.
Is it really?
My kitchen's like over there. So because my house is really tiny. And like I do own it. So I could like, you know, like do something else, but it's so small. And we obviously have like the dogs and like my daughter and stuff like that. So I was like, this is the prime real estate. So this is what we're doing. And it started off as one of these black bookshelves. And then I got a second one and I was like, oh, I'm going to put like a desk in the middle there. And then I was like, psych, I'm going to put another shelf in the middle there. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to put like a shelf under the window over here. And then I was like, oh no, just kidding. It'll look better over there actually. I'll get rid of the chair. And then I just kind of like found all these reasons to like keep adding in more shelf space. And then I was like, I need a bigger shelf. I need it to be longer and like all of this. And my husband's just like,
it keeps growing. I have a whole office
Yeah.
space because I work from home, but when I first set it up, it's like the bookshelves are not necessarily for like optimal spacing. So like the way that it has, like that's like cornered, and then I have, let's see, like one over there, and it's pretty small. And now I'm like, I need bigger bookshelves. I need more.
Yeah.
And then I have, it's a little messy over here, but you could also see like the little Funko Pops are right over there. You guys can just see like a tour, and there's a pocket in like the corner that has like lots of books. Awesome.
The storage space. When I got these shelves that are behind us, I justified it to my husband by saying that would be where all of our houseplants would go. So he was kind of like, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, except now my monsteras are like almost too big to go where they are. So I don't know, but yeah, oh well, we'll see.
I also struggle with like the wall space because I want more bookshelves, but then I have art. So
yeah.
For me, kind of like how you have it. I'm going to show you guys because why not? Because I'm on the laptop. So I have.
I love that. I love a gallery wall.
And I want to put more up, and I want to put like stuff over here, but I also need like a bigger bookshelf. So that books or art is really what it comes down to. Jason said that he donates so many of his comics back to his local comic shop when he needs room. I need to maybe think about doing that. Not that I have a lot. I was going through my comics recently, and there's like only like a small stack that I feel, because I've just started really collecting the past like year and a half, where I'm like, oh, I read issue 1. I didn't really love it. And so I think I might just do a giveaway of like random comics that other people would enjoy. I don't, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. They're just kind of chilling in my long box, taking space for the comics like putting in there.
Oops. I have like a stack like this that I'm going to give to one of my friend's kids because I think he's like 11 or 12. So he's like the perfect age to kind of start reading stuff like that. So I'm like, you have these. Thank you. So
that's awesome. You're like, here, take these so that I can then buy some more.
Yeah. So I have more space. Thank you. Yes.
So are you ready to dive into, for next week, Marvel Zombies 3 and 4? I'm going to check who wrote them, because it's not. I have my little iPad right here that has the Marvel Unlimited, so I can just let's see.
I'm kind of torn. I almost want to go and just read them today, but then I'm like, should I read something with slightly more nutritional value or just read all the Marvel Zombie stuff? I think I'll have to save the Marvel Zombie stuff until the end of the week so I don't forget anything, because it's the kind of thing that it'll go straight in one ear and out the other. Like,
100%. I read them over the last like 2.5 days, and I was like, wait, I'm still not remembering. Yes, Jason, there is volume 3 and 4, and I think there's a volume 5
and Marvel Zombies Resurrection.
And there's even like a one-shot that says Marvel Zombies Halloween, which was in 2012. But so when we start with Marvel Zombies 3 for next week, it says, let's see, details. Who wrote this? Tell me more. Or are you not going to tell me? Oh, interior, right. The writer is Fred Van Lent. He wrote Marvel Zombies, Heroes Reborn, Fantastic Four, and some X-Men. No, wait. That's a lie. I'm lying to everyone right now. Just kidding. The app went to a different page. I'm like, oh, he wrote all of this stuff. No, he didn't. He wrote... Oh, I don't know any of these. He wrote like some like one-offs. It seems like issue 3 of Web of Spider-Man, some Web of Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Captain America: Homecoming. So, all right, we'll see. I'm like,
we'll see.
You know,
There's
not
potential.
I'm glad that there's other people who are joining us on this journey because I need to know other people's opinions. Like, please drop them in the chat if you've read these, because I was just expecting so much more, especially with Robert Kirkman as the writer, and then was like, okay, I feel like you hired for this job, and then we're like, I've never read Marvel before, and then just threw it together.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time, that's for sure.
I think it'll be good, though. You said, how was Resurrections issue 1 when you read that? Was it like, do you remember it?
It was really good from what I remember. It was, again, like Spider-Man almost like center stage, and like his kind of turmoil, and he is looking after Franklin and is it Valeria, the two kids from Fantastic Four, Sue and Reed's kids. So yeah, that's kind of like the starting point that I read. So it is like some heavy emotional investment like right away, because obviously, you know, like Spider-Man and Johnny Storm are really good friends. So he's like, yeah. So I think although I can't remember who the writer is for Resurrection. Hang on, because it's down here.
Jason said, I'm low, so I enjoyed it. Honestly, everyone should be going in with the lowest of low expectations for volume 1 and 2 if you have not read it. And then you'll be like pleasantly like surprised or just happy, because like V said, it's just junk food. You like reading it and you're like, I just want to see where it goes. So I'm going to continue eating it, and you just don't want to stop.
Oh, it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, so no wonder it's better.
You're like, all right, so
that makes sense.
Honestly, we have nowhere to go but up, if that is what we're ending with. So this will be a true, you know, upwards trajectory. Every week is just going to get better, guys.
100%. Did you watch the finale of What If, by the way, as well?
Oh my God, yes. I like watch them as soon as they come out. That's like my morning routine. It's like drink coffee, watch the What If episode, and then I start work. Did Gamora, first of all, did we not get her episode?
I don't think so.
Because I was like, did I miss somebody else?
And they said that they had held off Gamora's episode until next season, because I thought for some reason there was supposed to be 10 episodes and there's only 9. So yeah, I think for some reason they postponed it, which doesn't make sense, I don't think, because after I watched it, I was like, that was not Gamora's episode, guys. Like we need more.
I need more context. But I thought it was so good. I mean, I love that they brought everyone back. Like, that was my favorite thing. I love that Doctor Strange got to redeem himself from being, you know, consumed. I also was just like, okay, the Watcher finally got his shit together and was like, and then he tried telling Black Widow, he was just like, I couldn't do anything. And she's like, well, you fucking did stuff, like, right now. Like, this is why we're all here. And you're really telling me you couldn't do anything beforehand? But I love that he drops her back into like an other dimension, and then like she's able to like have everyone.
Yeah.
I was
100%.
What were your?
That was such a good ending, and I feel like all of that, well, not all of, but almost all of the Black Widow content for the whole season was kind of like to make up for the way that she died in Endgame. So I just really liked all of the like Peggy and Nat moments in the finale, and like the ending or post-credit scene or whatever it was, where they like dropped her back in the fray. Like, I just thought that was so good. And I love the like flip script on the start of the Winter Soldier movie with Peggy and Nat. I thought that was really great. And I loved the like the Bernard from accounting or whatever moment, and she was like, no good story ever starts with Bernard from accounting.
I love that. You're like, correct.
That was good. Very good. And I really am interested to see if they bring back Tony in the Sakaar or whatever situation, the big armor with Gamora. Like, because Tony and Gamora as a team up would be
interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
I really want to see like more context for her episode. I will say I love that they gave us a post-credit scene for the finale, and then Peggy gets love. But if you're going to give Peggy and Steve love, I'm just always gonna be upset that Vision and Scarlet Witch just don't get a happy ending, no matter what universe they're in, and that just makes me really sad. I'm still just never gonna get over that because I was like, well, if they can have it, why can't they?
Exactly, 100%. I will forever be a little, just tiny bit jaded that we didn't get, like a feature-length story of Captain Carter. Like we could have done a whole thing or a whole season or whatever with that. So I'm a little tiny bit because I'm like all these little sprinkles. I'm like, I need more. Especially with little Steve and his little Hydra Smasher. Not little, his big Hydra Smasher. Yeah, so I really liked it. I was like pretty pleasantly surprised. I was prepared to not super enjoy it because with the whole season, like there were episodes where I was like, I don't care about this, and then other episodes where I was like, I need more. So yeah, I was kind of like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. But yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised. And I really am looking forward to more content. And I show you this.
Yes, I love how adorable that one is because they're just together and she's just riding on his back. It's so adorable.
Yeah,
I love it.
And like the little flame detaily things, like it's just so cute.
That is adorable.
It was one of my favorite scenes in that episode. Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I need it immediately, right away.
I need the Marvel Zombie Captain America. That's the one that I'm like want to get. And I got the Doctor Strange because I did really enjoy that episode. It's just like
all so sad.
No. I am so here for all the emotional sad episodes though.
Yeah.
Just make me sad and then I love it.
Yeah. Make me cry and I will come back for more.
Well, I'm wondering if they're going to I'm curious to know if anything with the What If show is going to come into the actual MCU, or if this is just like a total offshoot just for fun, and then they're going to continue this and then it's its own separate thing, or if it's going to come together. I feel like it is really what it's prepping, I think, a lot of viewers for, though, is like the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, when you have the whole Loki show opening up the multiverse. So I feel like it's going okay, here's what that could all look like in different ways. So I like that aspect of it. I'm really excited for all of the films that are coming out. Have you seen Shang-Chi?
Pardon? Shang-Chi? Yeah, I did go and see a couple weeks ago. I thought it was so much fun. And the post-credit scene, I was like, yes, thank you. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it if they are in the chat right now, but I love that movie. I saw it twice and was just so impressed. And now I just can't wait for Eternals to come out because I am freaking pumped about that whole cast.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know why, but I was so surprised to see Wong pop up. Sorry, spoiler. But I was just like, oh, okay. All right. We're going there. Nice. So
I love him as a character. It's so good. Yeah. I feel like he brought in really interesting side characters from other films, and I was not expecting that, but also not mad about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that really just describes some of my feelings about it. So yeah, I thought it was really good. just so excited to see what surprises are in store for Spider-Man No Way Home, because they have shown like not quite a bit, but it feels like quite a bit in the teaser trailer. So I'm kind of like, what haven't we seen? Like, yeah.
I'm curious because there's been so much speculation around like we're gonna get all of the Spider-Mans, we're gonna get all of these villains. I'm curious to see where they're gonna take it with that one, because I wasn't anticipating as much being thrown in with the new one, and now it feels about to be like cracked wide open, and there's going to be so much happening. So I'm curious to see how they'll condense also all of that.
Yeah, I am a little bit apprehensive because, you know, like historically with movies where they try and throw so much in, the plot often will fall to the wayside. So I am a bit apprehensive about that, because, you know, it didn't work so well with Spider-Man 3, as we all know last time. So I'm a little bit concerned about how it's going to work for the third movie this time around, although given, you know, like we've already got way more of like a setup. So yeah, I'm a little bit like, ooh, but hopefully it'll be okay, because I was really pleasantly surprised about how much I liked Far From Home, because I was really like, I don't know if I'm going to care about like Mysterio as a villain or anything like that. So I liked how they did that, and I have rewatched it quite a few times, and when I rewatch it I'm like, actually I like this more and more every time I see it. So yeah, I'm like pretty excited. My daughter Lila is really excited for No Way Home as well. She keeps telling me like every other day that she's excited to go and watch it. So
that'll be so fun.
Yeah. When Homecoming came out at the movies, we went and saw it, and she got this big like Spider-Man cup and took a Spider-Man toy. So yeah, it'll be nice to go and see like the conclusion to that with her in the cinema as well. So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. And it's Christmas time when it comes out here, because I think it comes out, I'm pretty sure it comes out on Boxing Day in New Zealand, so we get it later, because this year we're getting everything like later than in the States. So yeah, it'll kind of be like one of those things that we'll probably go and see like first thing in the morning. So yeah,
those are my favorite kind of movie days, especially around Christmas time. I love going. I love that. That is awesome. Definitely the perfect pairing to bring it to a movie theater. It comes out December 10th, I think, in the States, so it's pretty early in December.
Yeah, it is. I'm super jealous that you guys get it right at the start of December.
I know. I'm like, I'm driving my friends to like all of the openings. I'm like, we're seeing Eternals, we're seeing Spider-Man, like we're going. My cousins are very into Spider-Man, so they're like, we want to, if there's a midnight release, they want to go, and I'm like, I am here for all of it. Like whatever you guys want to do. Do you have any in New Zealand, like any Comic Cons or anything like that?
We do have one called Armageddon. They used to do it in the city that I live in, but it's not big enough for them to do it like sustainably, so they don't do it here anymore. They just do it in, I think, Auckland and Christchurch and Wellington, so the three main centres. I have never actually gone, just because it's also on Labour weekend historically, so it's like horrifically expensive to get up there, and my birthday is obviously just before Labour weekend, so I'm kind of like, one day I will go, but there's never been any like creator or actor or like celebrity or anything that really been like made the effort and the ticket price like super worth it for me. So yeah, I'm like one day. But in saying that, for the one in Christchurch, because Christchurch is like driving distance from the city that I live in, I think I probably will go, because my friend Ali, who is the creator of the Oasis Scents candles that I like post about on my Instagram. Yes. She will be going to the Christchurch one, so I'm probably going to go to the Christchurch one to like hang out with her and like that. So yeah, fingers crossed. She's actually coming down Labour weekend to Dunedin because Armageddon got pushed because of COVID. Because Auckland is like locked down at the moment, so she's actually coming here. So I'm going to meet her for the first time, which is going to be so awesome.
So fun.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure she said she's booked tickets for the Christchurch one. So yeah, I'll probably go up and hang out with her and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe I might try and do like a semi-casual like Scarlet Witch cosplay, but I don't know.
100%. I cannot wait to see pictures when that happens. I have never cosplayed before, but I want to.
Like, the most I've ever done is like a casual, like Supergirl cosplay when my daughter like goes out for Halloween. So, because Supergirl's obviously really easy, so it's just like Superman shirt. We're gonna try and make her a Gwenpool outfit probably in the next couple of weeks. So
I love that. Oh, Gwenpool.
Yeah,
we also have
a cute.
Comments here
is she's super mad that they don't make a Jeff the Land Shark Funko Pop. She's like, I don't understand why they don't make one. Jeff is so cute. I'm like, he is. You're right. They should. So
I feel like that would sell out immediately. Also, Miss So said here that looking forward to the Eternals movie, reading the original series in my library. Ooh, I need to like read. I'm reading the current run right now, not the like older comics. And then we have Cantonese Comic Kid. Hey there, guys. Hey.
The Neil Gaiman Eternals story is supposed to be really good as well. So if you want to read an older one, I think that's kind of like not like quintessential, but that's kind of like the one where people are like, just read that one. Yeah. So
you can start there. I had no idea Neil Gaiman wrote any of the Eternals.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm gonna go through Marvel Unlimited.
Pretty sure it's Neil Gaiman. I could be wrong. I'm like 90% sure it was him. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And for like the Comic-Con, I'm going to C2E2 in December, and not last year, COVID was happening. So in 2019, right before COVID, was the first time I went, and like I had never gone to any of those, and then all of the cosplay was like awesome, and it was so much fun. So I think what makes it most exciting is like when you get to, like you're saying, you're meeting like a friend and getting to hang out and do that kind of stuff together, because then you get to just like geek out. I'm going with my cousins, and then some of my friends are going, and one of my friends wants to cosplay, and he was like, I'll cosplay if you cosplay. So I'm like, all right, I like to do Halloween. Like, I'm the worst. Like, I don't dress up. I'm that person that's like, okay, I put like on some like ears and like maybe some like, little cat person. But outside of them, the worst at dressing up. So I'm kind of excited to challenge myself and maybe cosplay. So we'll see.
Who's on your like list of characters to potentially cosplay, or are you just going to go full Scarlet Witch? Because I could totally see you doing the Scarlet Witch.
Would be like would be the one that I want to cosplay the most. I feel like that I like saw that and was like, I can do that. Like that, I would love to do. So yeah, I think I'm going to give that a go. My friend wants to do Captain America, so I'm like, let's do it.
Awesome. Yeah. I have the 3D printer pattern for the Scarlet Witch like headpiece from WandaVision, so I can email you that if you want to try and get it printed somewhere, because one of the girls that does the like candle stuff with me is gonna print it for me. So yeah, I'll send you the pattern that I have. So that'll be good.
You.
Get you started. There's a girl on Instagram, I think her username is like Spidey Ragnarok or something, and she's posted like a little series and reels of making her Scarlet Witch cosplay as well, which I've been watching and thought was really interesting. I probably wouldn't go as like hard as her because I'm lazy, but still I love watching people's creative processes. Like I think it's so cool. So
well, people who could like really build out their outfits, I'm always impressed, because I'm just like not creatively talented in like I can't sew, I can't do any of that. Like you said, if I could print it out and then like put it together, if I could go buy like most of the outfits, then we're in good shape. But otherwise I can't. So said so many of the gang will be at C2E2. Hope you have fun. I gotta wait until 2022. I get that. I'm in Chicago indefinitely, so if anyone comes in 2022, I'm sure I'll be there as well. So can hang out.
Allie, who makes these candles, she's like so insanely creatively talented. She's making the Queen Amidala outfit from the Phantom Menace, and it's the one with the like headpiece that's like with the tassels at the end and the big, like, I think it's when she's at the Senate and the big like embroidered gown, like, how I don't know how she's magical, and she's like posting her like making the headpiece and like doing all the embroidery for the gown, and I'm like, whoa, you're a wizard. So yeah,
truly
incredible, honestly.
When I was at C2E2 in 2019, have you seen, I'm not sure if you're into like horror films, but Midsommar? Do you know that?
I haven't watched it, but obviously Florence Pugh, so
is amazing. Have you seen the flower dress and crown that she wore in that? Someone like made that, like the whole thing, and it looked so good. And I was like walking through, and it was the whole dress, the headgear, and I was like, I need a picture. And what was so funny is that I took a picture, posted it on like my Instagram, and my friends DM'd me and they're like, oh, we know her, like she's one of our friends, she's been working on it for months. And I was like, I imagine it was so good. And I was like, that dedication is really like so great. But I'm sure it feels like once you're cosplaying, you've put all of that hard work into it, and then everyone wants to take photos like with you or of you. It just has to feel so good. So
that validation would be nice. So my old workmate's wife, she is like heavy into cosplay, and she does a lot of like video game inspired cosplay pieces. So she makes a lot of like weapons and stuff like that, and she like almost always wins up at Armageddon, like wins best in show and stuff like that. She's like a wizard. So I'm always like, whenever I like try and half-ass make a costume, I'm like, can you ask your wife if this is the best fabric, please? And he'll be like, Sean says this. I'm like, thank you very much.
You're like, you are my go-to person.
yeah she's amazing. Honestly, like, blows my mind. And like even doing the makeup and stuff and how much practice and like all that sort of thing, I'm just like, wow, amazing.
And like I struggle with just like everyday right, like I can't, like little things like, how does you like a cat eyeliner, like no, I can't do that. So
the trick is the type of eyeliner that you use, but anyway, it's a different conversation.
I'm like, teach me your ways. No, it's like honestly so talented, like the makeup, the gear. I mean, there's people who do Iron Man and like stuff like lights up, and I'm like, there's mechanics and engineering behind this, like just total obsessed. But
did you know for the Mandalorian they used the 501st Legion, which is like a club or whatever of cosplayers who have built the like have built like stormtrooper armor. So because they didn't have enough like stormtrooper armor and enough stormtrooper like fill-in people, they got all these cosplayers to come in, because the cosplay armor is often better than what they will build on set anyway. So they got them to come in and be the extras for the Mandalorian season 1. So
that is so freaking cool. I had no idea. I don't like follow Star Wars or watch any of it, but like all I know is like Baby Yoda is super cute. But that's so cool. I can imagine to like be a cosplayer and then asked to then be an extra. That like, you know, I feel like that's like probably like peak. You've reached the peak. That's amazing. But that also makes sense. I mean, how much work they put in just to a single costume versus like if you're a huge production, you're trying to make multiple costumes and like
cutting all the corners.
Yeah. Oh, we lost V. I think that's because I have a free account on StreamYard, and that's how we were streaming. So I think it cut us off, but thank you everyone for coming. Oh wait, no, she's back. Okay.
I don't know what happened. I think my phone might be overheating. So whoops, that was I
have a free account on StreamYard because I'm testing it out, and so I was like, did we go too long? Did they were like, no more broadcasting for you? So
stop it. I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure I've done longer than an hour on StreamYard before, and I don't pay for either. So, but anyway. Yeah. So that was a shock. I was like, ooh. Whoops. Yeah.
But I do think I am feeling a little under the weather, so I am going to go get tested for all of the fun things and make sure that I am the most safe person. But thanks everyone for joining us. And I can't wait to see what we think of Marvel Zombies 3 and 4, and that will be on B's channel, Read Across the Stars, next Saturday at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Sunday for me.
Sunday
morning for me.
And then Saturday for me. I'm so sorry you have to wake up so early.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine, because the only other option is obviously to make it like really late at night, which not fun for you. So
well, it's like, all you guys come at like a 3 a.m. show, but I mean, maybe.
Have you ever watched? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the like Sith Lordly and those guys that stream, and they'll do like 12-hour long streams, like all night long kind of thing. I'm like, what?
But that's wild to me. I couldn't imagine. What about like bathroom? Like, I just think about things like I want snacks, I want bathroom breaks. Like, do you get those?
I know.
Do you not?
I don't know. I've never like a few times like people have been like, you should go and like jump on and join them because it would work with the time difference, and I'm still like, oh no.
You're like 12 hours on the stream. I think I'm good.
Yeah. And because they'll have like different people come and join them for like a short amount of time, because Justin was saying that like he watched the first part of like one of the streams and then like went to bed and then like woke up in the morning and they were still streaming.
Do they not sleep? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, when do people sleep? I don't know. Like, are they shift workers? So this is like normal when they're awake, and they're like, I don't know.
Either way, impressive that they can do that.
Dedication.
But thanks for joining me.
Yes, thank you for having me on your channel. I'm very excited to eat more junk food / read more junk about it next weekend. So yeah. It'll be fun times. I don't think I have anything else planned content wise between now and next weekend, so that's probably like the peak of what I'm doing creatively at the moment for this month, although I do have like end of next week and stuff off work, so I'll probably be well rested by that point. So yeah. Do you have any new videos or anything going up between now and then, or anything that people should be looking out for before our next stream?
I probably might drop a review video, but I'm not gonna promise anything just because I am resting. I've been drinking like all of the tea and sleeping most of the days the last like 2 days because I have this cold, but
I hope it goes away. Fingers crossed.
Same. Yes. Like, doesn't get any worse, but I would love to be able to like actually drop a review video. So I'm going to be doing that. And I think, what days? It's the 9th. So nothing planned for like this upcoming week, but maybe the week after, which I'll just announce later then. Totally. But, and just catching up on all the comics, because I am like horribly behind on some series. So.
What comics are you looking at, before we sign off, what comics are you most excited for to come out this week, if any, on your pull list that you're like dying to get your hands on?
I am terrible. Like, I don't even know what's coming out this upcoming week. Let me see. I have like I think the one thing that I was like, holy shit, this is the most amazing thing ever, is like League of Comic Geeks. Do you use that website? Okay, had no idea about it. Like, tried it, and now I'm like, oh, this is what's coming out. So I have Miss Marvel is supposed to be coming out, Marvel Tales, and then Witch Blood, which I've been loving. So Witch Blood number 7 is coming out this week. I'm really excited for those two. What about you?
I am a week behind everybody else, so we're expecting Marvel Dark Ages 2 and the trade for Beast Boy Loves Raven. Have you read any of those little like DC like YA titles because they're just so freaking cute.
I have
mine are
them,
just
but that
behind
looks
me.
so cute.
Yeah, so it's like the sequel to these two. And I'm so excited to read it. My daughter and I are both like really looking forward to reading it together. So yeah, I can't wait. I've been
I need to get my hands on one. They look so sweet. I saw that you had posted about them and a few other people, and I was like, this is really cute. I think I could get into it. And then Miss So said that she likes that site too, helps her organize stuff. Yes, it's the best. I love the idea that it breaks down like all of the data too.
Yeah.
And then they were asking for the website, so let me pull this up. I'll post it in the comics. League of Comic Geeks. It helps organize. You can put down like what your pull list is. It even calculates how much money you're spending, which like I love, and also was like don't want to know sometimes when there's like all of these great comics coming out. But no, I appreciate it a lot. So if you don't use it, highly recommend. It's just such a great way to keep organized and like even see your top writers or top like artists. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's so good to know. I'm going to look at it now because I just run a spreadsheet. So I feel like it might be a easier way to do it rather than my spreadsheet manually. So
yes, I was going to do a spreadsheet too, and that helped so much more. But all right, I'll let you go. This was so much fun. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for everyone who joined and chatted with us.
I think this is the key. Not the key, the cue. I probably should go make breakfast. So yes, we'll talk soon, and we'll see everybody on my channel next weekend.
Yes.
So yeah. Yay.
Bye.